You were watching the ACC on ESPN. Tallahassee, Florida, the scene today for top 5 soccer, East Coast, West Coast. Number 2, UCLA, taking on number 4, Florida State at the Seminole Soccer Complex. An amazing matchup underway in just a couple of minutes. Thank you for joining us here at Pitchside. He's Trevor DeGroat. I'm Arya Masudi. Trevor, 2 top 5 teams. First, the UCLA Bruins. They've got a great attacker in Ashley Sanchez.
Ashley Sanchez, this sensational sophomore, already putting together quite a resume, has represented the United States World Cup U20 team already. She's also a first-team Pac-12 member as well. She already has a huge goal against Penn State, number 3 team in the country, just last week. She is very, very lethal on the attack and on the run, which is what UCLA is certainly going to try to exploit today.
Her big goal against Penn State was huge for the Bruins. As for Florida State, you can't forget about Dana Castellanos.
How can you not? This sensational Venezuelan is just a remarkable talent all across the board. Almost had an amazing goal against USC just a couple days ago, but it was a good save that prevented that. She's a Mac Herman Trophy watch list for the 2nd year in a row. Watch out for her. She's dangerous on the run, set pieces, you name it. Watch out.
She's got 27 career goals to lead all in this game. Couple minutes to go. We can't wait for the Noles and the Bruins. It's coming up.
Okay, Kevin, USAA Bank is here to help you stay on track. Budget's looking good. Fit for a fill-up? And green light some beef jerky, too. Thanks, Chief.
USAA Bank helps you stay a step ahead. Find help at every turn.
Yeah!
With USAA Bank.
Both teams coming off a 110-minute performance. UCLA against Florida on Friday. Florida State against USC on Friday as well. As you can imagine, recovery might be an issue. Now we bring in the 3rd member of our crew, Catherine Phillips, with more.
Yeah, guys, grueling double overtime games for both Florida State and UCLA on Friday night. Head Bruins coach Amanda Cromwell told me their recovery process began immediately when that Gator game ended. They made sure her girls were fueled with recovery drinks right after. Then on Saturday morning, they went back to the fields in Gainesville. Those who didn't get many minutes got a light practice in, but for everyone else, it was treatment and ice baths. They all had massages last night. They have done everything they can to get their legs ready to go for this Tallahassee heat here today. But Coach Cromwell said she's just glad both teams are in the same boat. She said you can expect it to slow down the pace of the game a little bit. No one's going to come out guns blazing here today, but you can still expect some quality soccer. Arya?
Excellent report from KP. Of course, 110 minutes, Trevor. We'll see how that affects the first 15 minutes or so of this ballgame.
Yeah, no, we had the USC-FSU match 2 days ago, Ari, and you could tell Florida State alone, they were struggling with cramps. So obviously a lot of refueling, rehydration. I'm sure Mark Krikorian has the same exact thing in mind to try and get everything taken care of.
And it looks like we already have weather in the area before we can even get started. Mother Nature does not want this match to start right here at 5 o'clock. Well, it doesn't happen often where you get right out ready to go and then a crack of lightning, Trevor.
Yeah, well, of course, in Florida, you never know with Mother Nature. I mean, storms can be generated and they can last and, keep coming in for a long time. So it can pop out of nowhere in the state of Florida. Here in Tallahassee is no exception. But, yeah, a little unfortunate at that moment in time.
Both teams coming into this one undefeated. 4-0-1 is Florida State. UCLA at 2-0-1. Of course, both teams drawing in their last matchup. It's the Noles and the Bruins, but we'll have to wait just a few more minutes before we're able to start this top 5 matchup up here in Tallahassee. Weather delay at the Seminole Soccer Complex. We'll have an update shortly. Top 5 soccer between Florida State and UCLA here from the Seminole Soccer Complex. Arya Masudi, Trevor DeGroat joining you here, as well as Catherine Phillips from the sidelines. Starting lineups for this evening's game. We had a rain delay of well over an hour, but we are ready for soccer in Tallahassee. UCLA 4-4-2, of course, Ashley Sanchez, Annika Rodriguez up top. Athens, Sheehan, Villacorta, and Canales in the midfield. Peterson, Rodriguez, McCullough making her 50th career start here today, and Faulkner at right back. Tegan Micah, the great goalkeeper for the Bruins. As we look at the Seminoles now, head coach Mark Krikorian, they will also go in a 4-4-2. Dana Castellanos, Krista McFarland up top. Lynch, Howell, Yuji Zhao, Tillman in the midfield. Pavlisco, Berkeley, Patton, and Carl. And then Brooke Bollinger, the excellent keeper. Young, but athletic and physical. One of the best that Mark Krikorian feels that he's had in his time. Has the potential to be, at least. We are underway from Tallahassee. The Bruins in all blue, the Noles in all white. A big matchup. Both teams, Trevor, have just come off 110-minute matches. UCLA and USC, of course, and Florida State.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, clash of titans here in the NCAA women's soccer realm here, Aria, that resulted in 0-0 draws for both teams, and all four teams in this little series that they've decided to have, obviously, for this year, and then next year when FSU and UF travel to the West Coast to face USC and UCLA each. And it really just goes to prove how spectacular these defensive squads are, the back four.
UCLA controlling possession early. And Brooke Bollinger making quick work of that.
We saw Brooke Bollinger really get tested a few times against USC. Certainly the most action she has seen in the first 5 games. This is the 6th for her in net. And this is something that I'm sure Amanda Cromwell really wants to establish now early on. You're on the road. You want to establish dominance and have some quick strikes. And certainly putting a goal up early after a tough test against the Gators would really do her team well.
Both teams undefeated on the year. One draw coming on Friday. Florida State against USC and UCLA on the road in Gainesville. 2 overtimes. Nobody got a result. You've got 2 of the nation's best defenses here in Tallahassee. Florida State, just one of 7 Division I teams left who have yet to give up a goal in 2018. Zhao controlling in the box. Wants to find some help, does, as she moves the ball over to Carl on the right side. Aggressive by Faulkner. It's intercepted. Here comes UCLA. Dangerous on the counter. Great work, though, by Carl.
Florida State doing a nice job recovering back, getting on the defensive end. That's something they'll certainly have to probably improve a little bit on. They definitely let USC in their previous matchup give a few rushes and opportunities, looks at the net, probably more than Mark Krikorian would have wanted to see. But a nice job there getting back.
Anna Patton launches the ball downfield. Pinball currently as McFarland controls, and the Seminoles will try and get into some possession. Something you'll see from USC, Amanda Cromwell talked about it to us just a little bit yesterday, Trevor, is they like to press high and try and cause some confusion in the back line for opposing defenses.
Oh, no doubt about it. And I think one of the things, though, it's tough to really find something wrong when you've been pretty good, obviously, in your first several games. You haven't lost a game yet, but she would like to see her back line, her outside backers, maybe her wingers, kind of come with the offense a little bit and move up with and try to, really exploit the defense in numbers and really try and crowd space. Give more people in the box, more people around the box to really work the ball in and really have some more weapons to really shoot the ball if necessary.
Berkeley looking for the long ball. Beautiful pass to Lynch. Has a little bit of trouble with the first touch as Peterson races her and closes her down. Last deflected. Whose ball will it be? It'll be the Seminoles' ball.
Yeah, beautiful ball by Berkeley right there. Lynch, as you mentioned, Daria, a little difficulty on the touch. On that first touch, she would have been really good on the run. Maybe had some open space down the flank. Maybe looking for a cross. But a nice job by UCLA to deny that.
Pavlisco looking for Lynch as Peterson closes. Lynch towards the corner flag. Ball taken away by the Bruins. Now a bad giveaway. McFarland, perhaps an opportunity. Makes a nice move as she cuts towards the end line, but does not threaten Tegan Micah in the end. It's a save for the excellent keeper from Australia.
And McFarland in perfect position just on the outside of the 18, on the 18 line, but just got a little too deep when she was trying to go on the cross, a little heavy on her dribbling. And Micah, the Australian, coming up in perfect position, easy save.
As we mentioned, Trevor, 2 excellent defenses. We talk about Florida State and how great they've been so far, not letting up a goal. Over 470 minutes starting the year without giving up a goal. That is a program record to start the season.
Yeah, fascinating stuff by Florida State. And even for UCLA, despite having a goal that they have allowed, that goal came on a penalty kick. So, I mean, they haven't really given up anything on the run or anything in sort of a regulation-style format. So UCLA, with Teagan Micah as well, been just as impressive.
It's a loose ball right now as Canella is able to race onto it. Bounces it out wide to Faulkner. Clever little flick attempt, not going to go for UCLA. Now Florida State perhaps. Zhao finds McFarland, holding up the ball well. And then her pass fails her. As here comes UCLA. Oh, slick little dribbling attempt, and now some space. Delaney Sheehan.
Wonderful sliding tackle by Anna Patton to disrupt that rush.
Patton missed the first 3 games of the season for Florida State. Was with the England U20 squad at the World Cup, where she started in each of the games. England finishing 3rd in that World Cup, so she brings home the bronze.
Yeah, both teams certainly sporting a lot of national team representation all across the world, making this a very compelling matchup to watch. Certainly the future of women's soccer is being displayed here tonight in this game.
In the midfield now as Canales has it. Pushes the ball out wide. UCLA trying to come up with something, they're not able to.
And working the ball out wide to Ashley Sanchez. Really good wide open recognition right there, and she tried to feed Viviana Villacorta. But a good job marking by Berkeley for Florida State.
Florida State team who is oh so tough in Tallahassee at the Seminole Soccer Complex. 76-3-4 since 2011. That is ridiculous. Just 3 losses in Tallahassee.
And just their 4th draw just Friday night against USC.
Not easy to get results in the Sunshine State's capital city. A lot of energy by both teams early here, Trevor. You might have thought that having to play extra time, a lot of players logging a full 110 minutes for both squads.
Yeah, and I think, though, the weather delay kind of helps with that a little bit. It gives you a chance to rest a little bit more, collect your thoughts, and now it's a little bit cooler out a little bit with the clouds in the area. So, and obviously as the day goes on into the evening, into the night, temperature drops. So I think both teams showing really good energy early on.
Pavlovsko, oh, she dribbles the ball just past the touchline, and it'll be a UCLA throw in. KP's got something for us from the field. Catherine, what you got?
Yeah, guys, we already talked about how exhausted both of these teams are after those Friday night games. The temperatures dropped about 7 degrees since they were originally supposed to kick off at 5 o'clock. You got to think both of these teams are pleased with that. The sun isn't out. There's a nice breeze down here. So both teams showing a lot more energy right now than what they were originally expecting to show up with.
Absolutely, Catherine, and Trevor, to her point, you just mentioned you could use those extra minutes of rest. A lot of these fans, by the way, were able to go underneath the garages, finding some covered area. A lot of them have come back. Yeah,
it's a very good sign to see. Of course, they recognize the importance of this match. 2 top 5 teams, perhaps the best match you're going to even see all season long in the NCAA. With all sorts of talent, a lot of things, obviously, on a big weekend, of course, here in Tallahassee. Not surprised to see. It really speaks to the dedication of how much NCAA soccer has really come along and progressed, and, of course, the pedigree of both programs.
Doesn't hurt to have 2 top 5 teams as the ball's intercepted. Slipped away now is Annika Rodriguez in line. Back post. It finds the top of the net and harmlessly goes out of bounds. It'll be Florida State's goal kick.
Well, Rodriguez, known for her game-winning heroics last season, Gets a nice little feed down deep, just inside the 18, and she isn't shy of taking shots. She already leads the team with 9 shots coming into this match. She had 3 alone against the Gators just 2 days ago.
This will be a nice contrasting image of styles for Florida State and UCLA. The Seminoles want to possess the ball. They want to be clean with their passes and their touches. UCLA wants to break and go on the counter. If they can force some turnovers, that allows their speedy wingers a chance to really put away a goal.
Yeah, and even kind of similar to what we saw with USC. Here comes Zhao with Florida State.
Now McFarland. Does she have an opportunity to shoot? Oh, out on the same page. Lynch does clean it up. Now to Zhao. Left-footed shot for Zhao right at Teagan Micah, but the best opportunity of the game for either squad. And it's Yuji Zhao getting the first attempt, the freshman from Shanghai, China.
Very nice job by Florida State on the run. And Zhao is the one who takes the shot. Excellent left foot. She does an amazing job with cutting up and really juking out defenders. Just a little too square right to Teagan Micah for her to even have a challenge. But Zhao really proving herself early on in this season how important of a role she can be in the midfield.
Great ball, Castellanos on the end of it. Her shot, great save. Micah coming up huge early. That's what Castellanos can do, an opportunistic scorer. Micah keeps her off the board.
Yeah, strength for strength right here. Obviously, Dana Castellanos, with how many goals she's had in her career, 27, gets an excellent through ball. Micah, though, good recognition that Castellanos wasn't going to cut back to the right. She went with the flow to the left. Micah, good hands right there to work to the right, but it does result in a corner for FSU.
Castellanos will take the honors short as Zhao has the ball on the short porch. Pops it for her, header in the net. 1-0 Florida State.
It's Anna Patton with the header. Beautiful design play, starting with Castellanos. And then working her way to Zhao. Zhao with another excellent cut inside the 18 box. Works her way a little bit more to the right. Beautiful cross. And Anna Patton coming in with the header. Excellent job coming from her defensive spot. And a huge goal early. Florida State strikes with a 1-0 lead.
First career goal for Anna Patton. The Englishman striking in Florida State will not be denied a goal tonight.
Yeah, that was obviously huge. Both teams certainly coming off of, obviously you didn't lose your match, obviously USC with Florida State, the Gators for UCLA, but certainly you want to come out and get that first goal to really get those memories out of your head, and Florida State capitalizes on their first.
A bump by Howell and a foul called. Tumbling to the turf was Athens. We'll see how UCLA responds. This is the first deficit of the year for the Bruins. Whipped into the box, nobody on the end of it. Florida State not out of danger yet. There's some space cleared, and what a slide and a takeaway by Castellanos.
Beautiful, all ball right there by Castellanos.
McFarland running on to the long ball. Can she get there? She cannot, as it's taken away by Karina Rodriguez. And that's something we thought would be important for Florida State today, was to get an early goal. They outshot USC on Friday 18-6. Mark Krikorian felt like his team needed to finish a couple of more of those chances.
Yeah, that was really the only thing you could really point to for Florida State. They executed their game plan very, very well. They just couldn't finish. USC doing a very excellent job of just denying Florida State several times in the middle of the box. They really locked down the middle for them. They couldn't get squared too many times. But so far, Florida State with the best opportunity of the night, and they get it with Anna Patton's goal.
Krikorian in his 14th season as the Seminoles head man, 242 career wins to just 56 losses in Tallahassee.
And on that goal, Anna Patton, just excellent job of battling for position, and that's something that Florida State probably could have done a better job against USC. They did an excellent job there. Big key in the game.
Opportunity and a shot fired. But now, of course, Florida State's Brooke Bollinger able to come out to the end of it.
Well, nice job by Annika Rodriguez taking the volley off the deflection and still trying to put it on net. A little bit too lofty for a true threat for a goal. But nonetheless, UCLA not getting fazed by that early goal and early deficit. They're still coming out and attacking.
Ball knocked forward. Faulkner running onto the end of it. She watches it go out for a Seminole throw in. The Bruins working the ball around, enjoying some possession.
Carl coming up to challenge, but almost paid for it because Faulkner was working up the wing, and UCLA recognized that and got a pass off. She would have been freed up the left side.
Peterson punches it out wide. As Sanchez whips it into the box again. Nobody there for UCLA, but you're starting to see a game plan. UCLA getting the ball wide, hoping for someone to run onto it in the middle of the box.
Yeah, they just need now to get the numbers into the middle to have opportunities for a head or a one-strike opportunity. Something I'm sure Amanda Cromwell will certainly be vocal about.
Missing Haley Mace is huge for UCLA. She has been so good for the Bruins. Of course, last season, 15 goals in a Bruin uniform.
And she made the 2017 College Cup All-Tournament team. I mean, and she's right now with the U.S. Women's National Team, not in the U's, 20s, 17s, 19s. She is with the U.S. Women's National Team right now, folks. Just goes to speak how talented UCLA has gathered. They also have Jessie Fleming, who's out, who's playing with the Canadian National Team. So they're just littered with, national team members, both UCLA and Florida State. Just shows how enticing this matchup really is tonight.
And Florida State not without one of their own, Natalia Kuika, with Finland trying to qualify for the World Cup.
And Kuika, a very good defender, obviously, but she can obviously be an attacker as well. She is on the Hermann Trophy watch list, and she actually put in the first goal for the Seminoles this season in their opener against Vanderbilt, was the deciding goal in a 1-0 victory.
Of course, Kuika named the 2017 Finland National Player of the Year. Whistle and a foul. Tonight's head official is Carl Coomer. Assistants Arnell Selman, David Mock, and Zhao Li.
Casey Tillman getting dragged by Rodriguez in the arm, and the officials noticing that, clear foul, giving the possession to Florida State once again.
Bruins working the ball around the back. Great touch from Villacorta. Faulkner has it on the left. Looking for somebody to make a run. Not on the same page are her teammates, and that'll roll harmlessly to Bollinger. UCLA, the 2017 national runner-ups. Seabrook Bollinger. She's been one of the best keepers in the country to date. That doesn't happen, Trevor, unless you have a great back line in front of you.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, this Florida State back line with Pavlisco, Berkeley, Carl, and now Patton, and of course Kuika, who's been in the first few games, has really done a great job in front of her. But for a freshman coming in here, that's obviously a high mark to have as one of the few keepers in the nation to not allow a goal 5 matches into the season. So Bollinger riding high with a wave of momentum, and certainly would like a victory and another clean sheet here against one of the best teams in the entire country in UCLA.
Tillman knocks the ball forward to Carl. Opportunity for a cross. She whips it in. Header by Zhao. Doesn't get much on it, and it rolls right to Teagan.
Perfectly placed from Carl to Zhao. Zhao had the right head in the right angle, but just too much traffic up in front to get the ball through. But it's one of the few opportunities Florida State's had on the attack since their first goal. So UCLA is kind of gotten the possession. This is something that Florida State likes to do. UCLA's kind of had the majority of the possession since that goal, and so they're trying to dictate the pace as of right now.
Villacorta controls in the middle, trying to slot one through. Running on to the end of it will be Carl. She hammers it out of bounds for a UCLA throw-in. Viviana Villacorta, a sophomore from Lawndale, California. Went just 45 minutes against the Gators on Friday, so she's relatively fresh for this one. A member of the U20 World Cup team for the United States this summer in France. Perhaps a handball, not called. Florida State controls. High pressure from UCLA. You can really see them making things uncomfortable before Florida State can get into the defensive half.
Yeah, Florida State not exactly rushing up the field with an urgency at this moment in time. They have to probably do that if they want to get on some rushes that they like and want to exploit into UCLA's defense.
You see the offensive skill set from Berkeley on display. A center back by trade, but one who's had plenty of experience in the attacking third, and you saw on Friday night she nearly ended that game in sudden death with her shot off the crossbar.
One of the few shots she will take. She's not exactly known for her offensive prowess, but boy, that was one of the best shots she probably has ever had. Right off the crossbar and outside the 18 as well. So that was an excellent strike by Berkeley. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. And it just missed a couple inches shorter, or at least lower, and it would have gone in.
Carl. Now Tillman. Jockeying against Faulkner. Does great to earn some space. Her cross still loose. Finally cleared away.
Tillman trying to feed McFarland in front. Just missed, and then Lynch on the back end to try and clean it up. But a nice job by UCLA.
Villacorta has been active here in the first half. Lightning speeds, trudging down the field. Great defensive effort. Gives Florida State the possession back. Berkeley racing onto it as Rodriguez chases. See how comfortable Berkeley really is on the ball. That is rare for a center back, but crucial. The best center backs in the world are able to really start possession out of the back half.
Yeah, and not let the pressure of incoming strikers really derail you from getting the passes you want to work it back up the pitch. And Berkeley is certainly one of the finest in the country at doing that. She has certainly been a stabilizer locking down that back line.
Tillman has carved out some space for herself, tries to slot it ahead. McFarland just a step slow. Now both players will watch the ball cross the end line. Nice shielding job by Karina Rodriguez, which leads us to our first substitute of the game as Gloriana Villalobos checks in and Dana Castellanos checks out. Villalobos had a magnificent game against the Trojans on Friday night. 83 minutes, 3 shots. It looked dangerous many times in the attacking half.
Yeah, she really works well on the ball and certainly works quick up it.
Zhao, might she have a look? Tries to whip it inside to McFarland instead, and it's cleared away.
So she is certainly a spark plug in the middle, and even with Castellanos taking a breather, that doesn't give UCLA a chance to really rest up because Villalobos will certainly make you work to try and stop her.
Peterson does an excellent job on Lynch, dispossessing her of the ball. 1-0 here early in Tallahassee. Florida State getting the first goal of the game, thanks to a header by Anna Patton, an excellent cross from Yuji Zhao. That came with about 11 minutes into the ballgame. Officially the 12th minute, a goal from Patton. Florida State's been holding on to that one here in the early goings of the first half. There's a slew of substitutes now coming in.
Number 15.
Burgal checks in.
Burgal.
Christina Lynch will check out.
Interesting substitution, given that Burgal is more of a midfield, works in the midfield, and is known to be a defender as well. Lynch, a true forward. So Florida State getting a little defensive with this substitution. Although Burgal working up the flank with Pavlisco.
Now Villalobos. Pavlovsko. Two-man game between Villalobos and Pavlisco. Excellent run from Pavlisco. Opens up some space. Knocked forward to Burgal.
What time is that at?
Burgal souvenirs the field. Lifts across. Excellent job from Faulkner. Cleared away. Here comes Sanchez. Speed on display. Patton closing her down. Sanchez tries to slot it through. It's excellent. Opportunity here for UCLA. Rodriguez back towards the middle of the box and nothing doing. Oh, for a split second, you thought Rodriguez might have a chance to equalize.
Yeah, she just didn't come up in time. It was a nice job by Berkeley as well, guarding that far post. Shot off the face for Villacorta.
That's going to leave a mark.
Absolutely.
Burgal gives away possession. But an excellent job from McFarland to earn it back.
You wonder if Sanchez could have held up a little bit. Maybe it could have given Rodriguez a chance at the ball for a strike and a one-touch to equalize.
Villalobos, head of steam as she charges towards the 18. Swung out wide to Tillman. Great switch to Pavlisco. Dispossessed from Villacorta. That leads to another break for UCLA. Rodriguez making a diagonal run. Cut off by Patton. Bollinger clears away.
Yeah, mishandle by Pavlisco led to another charge, but luckily Patton and that back line were well prepared. Doing the smart thing, bringing it back to Bollinger.
Tillman has it. One of the personalities on this team showing some personality as she gets through. And it's cut off in the end by McCullough. And it'll be a Florida State corner kick, its second of the evening.
Boy, Tillman had an opportunity, I think, to even carry that ball a little bit further into the box.
One of the personalities on the team is mentioned, Casey Tillman. She finds ways to keep her teammates entertained. KP has more on how she does just that. KP?
Yeah, guys, I have a few of Casey Tillman's favorite things with me. These are her finger puppets that she began collecting a few years ago after seeing a celeb on Instagram with them. She thought, well, those seem pretty cool, so she bought some for herself. She now has over 30 of them. She keeps some on herself and the rest she carries in her backpack and her pencil. Likes to just reach in there, whip them out sometimes, give people a good scare or a good laugh. But she said, look, a lot of people call them creepy. She likes to think of them as trendy. She said if you're around them enough, you'll eventually start to want to buy some for yourself. So there you go. Casey Tillman, the trendsetter for the Noles, keeping things light in the locker room. Guys.
Appreciate it, Catherine. I'm sure you'll keep yourself entertained down there for the rest of this half. Be sure to pay attention to the game for us.
I mean, you see the octopus tentacle right there. I mean, that is just, that's the one that obviously stands out. You got a foot, a little unicorn right there.
I wonder which one's her favorite. Which one KP likes the most?
I don't know. We'll have to ask her that later on.
Tillman, again, she's had an active first half.
I kind of like the octopus tentacle. There's just so many things you can do with it. It's long. You can grab things. You can fix your hair with it.
Appreciate it, Catherine. Thanks for
certainly the most threatening one.
Be sure to put on a show down there for the crowd. Now here's Sanchez. Slots it inside. And Sheehan decides to knock it back. Florida State and UCLA meeting for the third time in school history. Just the first time these two teams are meeting in the regular season as that cross from Sanchez does no harm as Bollinger has it. The last two times these two teams have met have been in the College Cup in a national championship game in 2013 where UCLA was able to claim its school's only national title, and then in 2005 when they defeated Florida State in the Final Four in the first round of that College Cup. So Florida State certainly would like to repay the favor here this afternoon at home. They lead 1-0. Carl looking for Tillman. Knocked off her foot, no good. Zhao in there to mix things up. Finds Carl, excellent chip.
UCLA doing a much better job of engaging and marking the players on the attack for Florida State, causing a few more dispossessions and really locking down the 18 at this moment, not giving Florida State a lot of looks that they had and dangerous looks as they had earlier in the first half.
Really, that goal was individual brilliance from Yuji Zhao to create some space, cross the ball in, and then Anna Patton soaring for that header. UCLA trying to carve some space of their own. Sanchez has it. 25 yards or so from the box. Angles to her right. Shot. Bollinger does a great job. Slide steps to her left and makes the save.
Sanchez still working very hard. A lot of good speed. Working to her right. Getting around Pavlisco.
96 minutes for Sanchez against the Gators on Friday. She's got 7 career goals. The 2017 first team All Pac-12 member. She's come up with big goals in her career, none bigger than perhaps the one she had against Penn State last week.
Yeah, and another top 5 matchup that Sanchez and the Bruins had, and to go on the road into Happy Valley is certainly a testament and is certainly a big accomplishment as Florida State works it up again.
Villalobos decides to attack the middle of the field. Finds Zhao. Zhao fires right into the heart of Teagan Micah.
A nice job, a lot of open pockets there for Florida State to really work into the center. Zhao once again showing that power, just right on target to Teagan, unfortunately.
Dallas Dorsey now into the game for Florida State. She's checked in for McFarland. Sanchez. Finds Shea. Intercepted by Patton. Florida State's defense has been excellent so far, with about 15 minutes to go here in the first half.
Nice through ball by Villalobos.
Dorsey running onto it. Has one man to beat. Her shot, back post. Excellent save from Micah. Wasn't the cleanest save by Micah, still left it far too close to goal. But UCLA gets away with it. Now perhaps an opportunity of their own. And yet again, Florida State's defense coming up huge. That'll be a corner.
Yeah, Dorsey, hasn't made a start this season yet, but boy, she already has 2 goals. She is certainly dangerous inside the box and had a beautiful opportunity on the right side.
For the Seminoles, number 18, Michaela Edwards.
Michaela Edwards will sub in for Yuji Zhao. Edwards, a senior, her 53rd career game. Chloe Castaneda checking in for UCLA as well. On the end of that one was a Bruin. Pops over the goal harmlessly. Still 1-0.
Yeah, very low, but a beaming strike that found the target for UCLA, but a little bit out of position, forced the bad angle, lofting over the goal.
Castaneda subbing in for Sanchez, making her 4th appearance on the year. Her 3rd off the bench. Bollinger not able to find a teammate with her kick. McCullough dumps it back to Micah.
Teagan, a little happy feet over there, almost cost herself a dispossession for Dorsey to get.
Bergau, quick throws to Dorsey. Dorsey racing towards the end line. Muscled off the ball. Now goes out of bounds. Canala is on Villalobos. Now Peterson coming to help. 1-on-2. Villalobos angling and does excellent work to earn a corner. You hear the Florida State fans and their appreciation for it.
Yeah, UCLA trying to incorporate a 2-on-1 situation to try and force Villalobos into rolling the ball out, but she did an excellent job in taking advantage of that and firing it right off the UCLA defender for a corner.
Megan Connolly checks into the game. Casey Tillman heads out. Berkeley will do the honors on Florida State's third corner of the evening. Berkeley fires it in. Ball still loose. Who will get on the end of it? Chipped up. Dangerous. Micah does excellent to punch it over the bar. A whistle and a foul. Carl Krumer, the head man tonight, called for some kind of obstruction. UCLA ball.
Florida State once again trying to go lightning strike twice to Anna Patton. Does get the head on it, but it does go up and allows Micah to hand that ball away and lift it up over to deny Dorsey.
UCLA still threatening in attack, trying to find some space.
Yeah, so far, balance-wise, it's actually been a pretty balanced match in terms of possession and chances of attacks and flow of the game going up and down.
Howell. Charging ahead forward, trying to slot it for Villalobos. It'll be Bergau instead. Now slot to Villalobos. Blocked away by the Bruins.
Boy, if she could put that ball on Villalobos up the pitch, that would have been a perfect opportunity for the Costa Rican star. But a nice job by Bergau, who've had a chance. But a nice job by UCLA of closing down, clamping down.
The Noles not done with this piece of possession, as Pavlisko has it. Pavlisko earns some space. Could she take a shot? She finds her space, and in the net it goes. The freshman from Middleburg, Florida, her first career goal gives the Seminoles a 2-0 lead in Tallahassee.
Just took it herself. Just decided to dictate it and say, you know what, I'll just make a play out of myself. And she had the green grass to do it. UCLA just kind of let her go through in a lot of ways. No one really challenged her too harshly. And she just found a nice little opening inside the 18 on the right side and decided to cut it across inside the near left post. No chance for Tegan Micah and Florida State. Impressive here in this first half with a 2-0 lead.
You see why the Noles are so tough in Tallahassee as Connolly intercepts the pass.
Great awareness.
Connolly charging ahead of steam. Connolly doing excellent work on the end of it. Another Seminole, and Micah crashes. Prevents goal number 3. You see the energy. It's amazing what one goal can do for a team, really revitalizing them. Florida State has the foot on its gas pedal.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, Megan Connolly starts this kickoff perfectly, dispossessing UCLA off it, and then does a nice job trying to feed Alexa Orante right in the middle, but once again, those two center backs for UCLA, Karina Rodriguez, Kaya McCullough, do an excellent job. They've started every minute of every match for a reason. But once again, Florida State, yeah, definitely is on the attack, not letting up, and they have all the momentum at this point in the match.
Orante into the game for Howell. 8 minutes to go here in the first half. Florida State, a pair of goals by Anna Patton and Kirsten Pavlisko. It's a brace for the Noles, a 2-0 lead. And with the way Florida State's defended this season, boy, that's a tall task for UCLA to try and work back. You get the feeling, Trevor, it's important for UCLA to try and grab one back before heading into the break.
Yeah, I mean, they would certainly like to go into the half with some sort of momentum. Great strike.
And there's a goal. Into the back of the net. Mari Carmen Reyes. There's exactly what the Bruins needed. A lifeline, 2-1. The first goal allowed by Florida State this season.
What a strike that was by Reyes. A very impressive strike, almost coming from out of nowhere. It was a very aggressive throw-in, headed out, and she just wins it from Villalobos, does Reyes, and just strikes it, just takes a shot, just a one-timer, and Bollinger caught out of position and just hits the far back side of the net on the left side, and just like that, UCLA cuts the deficit in half. Huge goal for the Bruins. So the cross goes over the net, resulting in another goal kick for UCLA. Yeah, that's huge, Wise. I mean, all the momentum to Florida State, just as I say that, Aria, it just can turn around in an instant. It only takes one to get you back into a ball game. And UCLA taking advantage.
Under 7 to go, UCLA. Just when you thought things were slipping away, Mari Carmen Reyes. A huge goal.
Well, you just can't take a breather with either of these clubs. I mean, they're going to be able to strike. You know they're very attack-minded, attack-oriented, and they're very capable of putting up multiple goals in a game. And even with good defensive play that both these squads have, there could come points, and as we've seen already with 3 goals, there you can get exploited and you can take some really good opportunities, and you can really put the ball and shoot it from anywhere, and it could have a chance of going in.
Reyes, the talented freshman, her first career goal in a Bruin uniform. A U20 World Cup member for Mexico. And it's 2-1. So now the Bruins, we'll see if that gives them a little energy boost as we head into the final 6 or so minutes of this first half. Pavlisco punching that one away. Bruins throw in.
And you could tell UCLA really starting to feed and starting to really find a flow at this moment in the game. That goal can really energize you, knowing, though, that you still have a lot of work to do. Whoa, big, hard tackle. Pavlisco goes down.
She remains down as a yellow card. Handed out by Carl Krumer.
I believe it was J.C. Peterson who came up charging for the ball, so she'll go into the books. Taking another look at it. Yeah, Peterson was the one with possession, and unfortunately the ball slipped away from her a little bit on that touch. And Pavlisco coming up, charging, trying to clear it away, and Peterson simply didn't check up in time.
Didn't look like any malintent on the part of Peterson.
No, certainly, and you know, she has the ball, and so she's trying to obviously work her way up, and just those things are going to happen. Obviously, you're going to run into each other for a couple bumps. Yeah, it certainly didn't seem to be a lot of malice with that challenge.
The 5th yellow card of the season for the Bruins. Berkeley. Now Villalobos intercepted, though, by Canales. Arante drops it back for Patton. Villacorta. Now Reyes. Swung outside Peterson. UCLA enjoying some possession. In the end, a poor ball forward will end in a Seminole goal kick. Monica Rodriguez, her 50th career game in a Bruin uniform. What a career she's had, 11 goals, 18 assists.
It speaks to the depth, really, of both clubs, especially, though, for UCLA, knowing that Hallie Mace is out right now with the U.S. women's national team. You still have Ashley Sanchez, first team All Pac-12 and All West region.
Bad giveaway leads to a break for Florida State. Villalobos trying to slip it through to Dorsey. Excellent defending by the Bruins as they shield Dorsey from having any opportunity. Micah there to clean things up.
Yeah, too many pack of bears surrounding Dorsey. Had a pretty good run on the ball, but once again, closing down that center. Nice job by the UCLA defense.
Peterson flying down the pitch, sends a ball into the box. Carl had to do well with it and did.
Peterson looking for Rodriguez, just kind of gave up on the play. Don't know if she's out of gas. She's been playing this entire half. Of course, with only about a day's rest in between matches with the Gators down in Gainesville. Of course, the humidity, of course, being such a factor. You're going to have some tired legs, and certainly these two clubs after this match are certainly going to get some well-rested time between their next matches.
Bergau trying to clear it. Ball remains with the Bruins. Castaneda ping-ponging around out of bounds. Whose ball will it be? Goal kick, says the linesman. 7 shots for Florida State, 4 for UCLA.
And I really don't think there's going to be too much of a game plan change or really some second half adjustments perhaps, because I think from both attacks at least, I think you have to be pleased if you're head coach Amanda Cromwell for the Bruins and Mark Krikorian for Florida State. You've had your chances, you've had good looks, you have goals on the board. Just have to capitalize and finish strong to come away with more goals for Florida State to pad it and for UCLA to try and equalize.
Peterson does well. She wins the ball. The Bruins head forward.
Hesitation.
Now out wide, ball whipped into the box. Was the flag up? I believe it was. No, a whistle and a foul. So Kruger calling a foul just about a yard outside of the side of the 18. A dangerous opportunity for UCLA here with the set piece.
Yeah, that slight hesitation by Florida State's back line really cost them an opportunity. And yes, it's number 3 for Florida State causing the foul. That's Megan Connolly.
Hernandez and Rodriguez huddling around the ball. It will be Rodriguez. She drives it in. Ball still loose. Arante able to clear as we head to under a minute left in the half.
Arante was the one who was in the wall there to deny the shot from going through, and does a nice job following up, cleaning it up with a clearance.
McCullough drives one just over the head of Dunphy. Florida State's throw in.
Well, technically it is a free throw when you think about it.
I'll get it right eventually, Trevor.
Yeah, we're all good.
What a ball ahead. Villacorta has some space. Pavlisko tracking her down. Bounces out of bounds. UCLA, not much time to get this one off. It's a race against the clock. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. At the buzzer, no. So we head into the locker room break. What else did you expect from a top 5 matchup? Florida State strikes early. UCLA not giving up, though, 2-1.
No, not giving up. I think you have to admire that out of the Bruins. They didn't let those 2 goals get to them. In fact, a quick strike and a quick goal after that second goal gets them back in this ball game, only trailing by 1 into the first half. Both teams really working fluidly, very well with the ball. I don't think there's been a lot of challenges in the midfield so far. I think there's a lot of open space for both teams to really work their way and dictate what they want on offense. So I think perhaps if you do have second half adjustments for both squads, it's on defense. Maybe find a little bit more ways to dispossess. I think Florida State's done a little bit better job getting in front of the ball and on some crosses and some passes by UCLA to deny them some really good quality looks on offense to really work the ball and work possession. But both teams certainly have almost imposed their will in a lot of ways to get what they want.
First, it was a goal by Anna Patton. Second, a goal from Kirsten Pavlivsko. Florida State was sitting pretty at 2-0. But not even 2 minutes later, Mari Carmen Reyes, a lifeline for the Bruins. She lofted one over the head of Brooke Bollinger, and that's where we stand at 2-1. Florida State enjoying a 7-4 shots lead. Catherine Phillips is down with Florida State head coach Mark Krikorian.
Coach, you came out strong in the attack. What did you like about your offensive effort in the first half?
Well, I thought particularly early in the half, we were able to get a hold of the ball, spread it out wide, get off the ball, pass the ball, move, and control a good part of the first half.
You know the Bruins can strike at any time. They showed that with that goal in the 37th minute. Do you make any adjustments in your game plan heading into the second?
Well, I think that we'll probably have to make sure that we don't leave players open. They've done a good job of finding some seams and playing through us, and transition's a bit scary as well. When the number 2 picks up the ball and starts running with it, we're going to have to limit that in the second half.
Thank you, Coach. Aria?
Excellent job from you, Catherine. 2-1, Florida State leading over UCLA. It's a battle of 2 top 5 teams, and it's been going just as expected, a battle. Halftime starts next.
See this bacon? It didn't come from my pocket. It came from ranchers. Thank you, ranchers. Think I tracked that deer on my own? Thank the hunting and fishing guys who show us how it's done. You know what's really the hardest job out there? Being a parent, especially to me. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Daddy. Happy Labor Day from the Millers. Hey, don't you dare forget to thank the chickens for giving you their eggs.
2-1, Florida State leading UCLA here as the Noles and Bruins are battling from Tallahassee. East Coast, West Coast, some marination, a contrast of styles, and it has been an excellent game at the Seminole Soccer Complex in front of a huge crowd. How did we get to 2-1? Well, first, we had to wait about an hour. The fans stuck around. Yu Ji Zhao gave them something to smile for. Anna Patton connecting on the header. Her first goal in a Seminole uniform. And the Noles strike first at 1-0. And then second, Pavlisko. Brilliant.
Pavlisko just took it herself from her defensive spot. Just went right up into the box. Didn't really get challenged by UCLA for a second goal. And then a great individual effort right here by Mary Carmen Reyes off a set-piece opportunity. Just one-times the ball and gives UCLA on the board to cut it in half. And that's where we are, 2-1 at halftime.
Florida State outshot USC on Friday 18-6. They're doing the same to UCLA through 7-4. All 7 shots on goal for Florida State. That is incredible. And the corners in the head, an advantage for Noles.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something that Mark Krikorian and I'm sure Florida State's program absolutely wanted to correct from USC. Put the ball on target just a little bit better. They've been perfect in that category thus far.
A celebration type of weekend in Tallahassee. Right now, the Noles giving their fans something to celebrate. 2-1 as halftime continues.